Hello and good morning. It's Phil Thatch and I'm standing along the side of Highway 68 in, I think this is Grandview, Tennessee. And I'm actually on the way to another location, but as I was coming over this mountain, there was a pull off and I stopped and looked over. I'm not even sure what mountain this is, but you can see in the distance, there's a cloud inversion. The Tennessee River is over that way and you can just see the tops of the cooling towers for the Watts-Bar nuclear plant over there. So I said, you know what, I got to stop and make a panorama of that. So I made two. I made one with the 17 to 40 at I think 40 millimeters, and then I made another panorama from here with the 24 to 105 at about 70 millimeters. So if either one of those is cool, we'll look at it now. And now I got to get back on the road and go to my actual destination. All right, when you look at it in this detail, you can see the top of the cooling tower at the Watts-Bar nuclear plant. And you know, those things are 535 feet tall, so they're really huge. So that tells you how thick the fog was that morning. You know, it's just fog. It sounds cooler to call it a cloud inversion because that's what Thomas Heaton calls it, but all it is fog in the valley. But gosh, it sure is nice to be on a mountain and be able to make a photograph of a cloud inversion. You know, this is the 70 millimeter version. I did also a 40 millimeter version. And gosh, I wish I had taken the time to switch lenses and maybe put my 100 to 500 on and maybe do a 150 millimeter version, because there would have been a whole lot more detail in this shot. And speaking of details, look in the bottom right corner. There is a little pond or a lake there, and it has its own little cloud inversion. And you can even, if you look close, you can even see some trees reflecting on the water in that little pond. I have made it to my actual destination, and that is Cumberland Mountain State Park. Never been here before, but I have seen photographs of this beautiful bridge that may be coming into the frame beside me. And gosh, I'm a little bit late. I really kind of wanted to get here at sunrise, but you know, that's hard to do. But I definitely have the reflection that I was hoping for. This water is very, very smooth. So I'm going to try to find a place to make a photograph of this bridge and the reflection. It's a beautiful bridge. I haven't quite figured out how to photograph it. I've made shots all up and down along this bank, and I'm not sure I like any of them. Right now I'm right on top of it, and I did a little bit of HDR, made one exposure for the bridge and another exposure for the tunnels inside the bridge. So anyway, I'm going to keep digging. The light is slowly creeping its way across the bridge. You can see the far side of the bridge is still in shade. And so I'm definitely going to stay here at least until the entire bridge is in the sun and get some nice golden hour light on the whole bridge. By the time the light got to where it cleared the trees and there was no shade on the bridge, there was no longer golden hour light. So I decided that I like this version better, where the beautiful light is on the bridge instead of just harsh light. And I did HDR and non-HDR versions. They looked about the same, but after comparing them back and forth for a long time, I decided to share the high dynamic range version with you here. I came around to the back side of the bridge, which has a waterfall. Currently it's not spilling through all the spillways, but it is coming down through a couple of them. One of them has come down through pretty good. And you know, it's horribly backlit and there's really bright light in the tunnels. So I did an HDR shot, and when I had the exposure correct for the water coming down, I didn't even need a polarizer or anything. It was slow enough to blur that, and then my exposure went really, really fast. Let's see. Quarter second, eighth of a second, 15th, 30th, 50th, 80th. So those are the exposures for the HDR shot that I may or may not be about to show you. So anyway, I just came over here to this side while I was waiting for the sun to get where I needed it, and now I'm probably going to go back. I'm not happy with this photograph at all, but I did decide to go ahead and share this photograph with you and the previous clip where I described this photograph, because I wanted you to see the back side of this dam and bridge combo. And maybe one day I'll go later in the day when it has good sunlight on it instead of being backlit. This place is really nice. There's this gazebo area with tables to eat. nice clean restrooms right over there. Of course, there's the view of the lake that leads down to the bridge where I made some photographs. And right over there, that building in the background there is a restaurant, which I hear is pretty good. And there's another area out here with lots of tables where I guess you can eat. If you're a customer at the restaurant, you can probably eat out here when the weather's nice, and there's strings of lights going across. I bet it's really beautiful. Plus there's cabins and other things here. I don't know all about it, but I did want to mention that Cumberland Mountain State Park is a really beautiful place, more than just the bridge that I've been photographing. I'm here on the fishing pier now, and I've put my 10-stop neutral density filter on here on the, mostly this morning I'm using the 17 to 40 ultra wide. I put the 10-stop neutral density filter on and made a couple of shots at 15 seconds. But I have definitely not accomplished what I came here to accomplish. My friend Ron Durant made a beautiful photograph here. Actually, he's made several, and I don't know if I have perfect conditions. The color's definitely past its peak, so that's not helping. But anyway, it was fun to visit here, and I'm sure I'll come again and give it another shot. I don't know what I was thinking. I did this as a high dynamic range shot. The 15-second shot's coming up in just a moment, but high dynamic range was not needed at all for this scene. That's the bad news. The good news is I really like the way this came out. I was thinking it wasn't looking very good on the back of the camera, but when I got home, I really liked the way this turned out. So that's really nice. Now here is the 15-second shot with the 10-stop neutral density filter. And the previous shot, the water looked pretty slick, but you can see a couple of ripples in it. In this shot at 15 seconds, it's extremely slick. And this one I'm at 17 millimeters, so I'm zoomed way back. So this probably does not look so good on a cell phone, but if you look at this on a large monitor, like on my 27-inch 4K monitor, it looks really nice. It needs a big screen because there's so much going on. Just noticed another sign saying that there is a swimming pool here somewhere. So this is a really great state park. You know, I go to Harrison Bay State Park all the time, but I've never been to this one before, and I think someday I'll probably come back. This is really nice. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed my still need improvement photos from here at Cumberland Mountain State Park in Tennessee. And now it's time to head on to someplace else. Hope you enjoy the content. If you do, a thumbs up is always appreciated. And I would also appreciate it if you subscribe and hit the bell if you want to see some more. And as always, I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.